So I really don't think there's anybody in this stream who has seen more cases of abuse and neglect than me. And I agree with Kevin that there are mothers who, I mean, I've just seen so much, guys. There are absolutely mothers who dominate their daughters, and mothers who abuse their daughters, and mothers who neglect their daughters. I appreciate you clarifying that, Lapeef, and saying that. I think you said that these aren't the only two types of mothers. These are just two types of mothers, but there are other types of mothers, right? And so I would definitely agree with that. I've seen mothers who have, just walked away from their daughters because a new boyfriend showed up. And I have seen mothers like come this close to putting their daughters in the grave, right? So, you know, it's really like a it's a rainbow. Now, this is on the bad side of the spectrum. There are also good mothers, right? There are also great mothers. It's really like a bell curve, like a distribution. What I have found is that most moms are mediocre, just like most dads are mediocre. And then, on the one side of the bell curve, you've got some great moms, and on the other side of the bell curve, you got some terrible moms, right? That, just like you said, or just like Kevin Samuel said, will absolutely dominate and use their daughter. Now, what is a daughter? If the daughter is 6 months old, right? Is that really called domination, right? Or are we talking about a 16-year-old daughter? Are we talking about a 32-year-old daughter? The 16-year-old daughter really is not going to be used so much as a bailout plan, right? That's when the 40-year-old daughter and the 45-year-old daughter and the mom starts, putting in all of this guilt trips. Oh, you need to pay my mortgage for the rest of my life type BS, right? So yeah, I think I appreciate, and again, I appreciate you clarifying that, Lapeef, because I kind of wasn't understanding, because I didn't see the Kevin Samuels clip, so I didn't have the context. But those are two types of mom. There's a lot of types of moms. So yeah, I agree. There's a lot of types of moms, and there are moms who dominate their daughters. There are moms who abuse their daughters. There are moms that neglect their daughters. Moms that love their daughters. Moms that treat their daughters great. Moms that treat their daughter average. Moms that treat their daughters like sister girls. It's a lot of. So yeah, I agree. There's a lot of types of moms.
Yeah, it definitely is. And man, I wish I could have played the clip for you guys. Dr. David, I thought you actually said you looked at it, so I was like,
yeah, no, I went to see it, so I know exactly. Because when you mentioned it, I was like, let me go check. Let me speak into, because I feel everybody's seen it, so I was like, let me not be the only one. But yeah, I saw what he's trying to talk about. He's just talking about how the moms that are actively keeping their daughters single, and that are working in ways that are causing their daughters to be single, because a lot of times these women, this is what I think he's going to talk about. These women don't realize how their moms are a negative influence that's contributing to their inability to find a life partner. So, and it's not obviously it's not everyone. There's great moms out there, but there are some women that, for no explicable reason, very attractive, lot to offer. They are under the influence of a very close friend, and this close friend in this case is their mom. And that's something that they have to be able to recognize, and that's what I think he's gonna allude to and talk about, so that they can try to address that situation before it's too late for them, and they end up in the same situation that their mom is in.
That right there is just interesting to me, I guess, because I see more of the opposite. I see more like mothers trying to keep their sons single and like block their sons from having a relationship, because a lot of times the dad wasn't in the life. So, he's the man of the house early. So a woman try to come take him from me. This is my baby boy. Mothers and sons have a kinship that's way closer than, mother daughters, if we're going to be honest. So I guess I'm so confused, because the whole time y'all talking, I'm thinking, wait, I seen more mothers do that to their sons than to their daughters, especially around 16, 17. Women get to clashing. Like, it don't be no friendship, I'm trying to keep you in. They get to clashing with each other, and they be ready to get her ass up out the house. But the son, oh, that's a totally different ballgame. Son can do no wrong at all. And any woman come in and he's spending a little too much time with this woman, oh, it's gonna be a whole problem. I see way more of that than the opposite.
Well, Trill, at that age, at the young age, you're absolutely right. What happens is that they rendezvous and meet back when they get older. I think I mentioned it on our podcast over at Ask a Black Man Anything. I know I talk about it on mine. The Golden Girl effect. The Golden Girls. There's Dorothy and Rose and Sophia and Blanchett and Truby. The ladies get together, and what I think what he means is that bailout plan. A lot of times, the older mom has that younger daughter, especially if there's no man around. Maybe a couple of them went through a couple of divorces or had the children, never got married, and then but mom is always there. There's no men around. It's all women, it's aunties and daughters and moms. It's all around in the family, and next thing you know, they're older, 30, 40s, 50s. And then they cling together, and the older mom uses the daughter as a bailout plan. I think that's probably what they're talking about. But you're absolutely right. Younger, it's like, yo, they don't even want to talk to each other. It's like, yo, I'm like deuces, I'm gone. But then I think they rendezvous later on after life beats them up a little bit.
There you go. Well, I had the phone lines open up, and I wasn't gonna wait too long. So if nobody was calling in, I just want to say thank you guys. So TLA, thank you.
No problem. Thank
Blessing
you.
the platform
Thank you
as
guys
usual. It's always a blessing to have you. David, I know it's your first time up here, man. I hope you enjoyed your experience.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
And to my crew, man, thank you guys for constantly holding us down, man. Like without you guys, man, this would not be what it is. So I humbly thank you guys. And for you guys that's out there that tuned in, again, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for all the super chats that came through, all the subs, and just people just showing love, man. This is great. This is a great conversation. I actually enjoy myself. I learned some things. And to lead a turn, I'm gonna be thinking about that point, man, that you that point that you did.
Thank you.
And just as I'm ending, somebody want to come in.
I don't like that shit.
Joel.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's going on, Joel? Welcome, man.
Like clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and put his link out for anybody else try to slide up in here.
Yeah, that last link was old. I was trying to reach you in the chats about it.
Go ahead.
It was
My man.
yeah, but how y'all doing, fellas?
Oh, we doing good, man. How about yourself?
Does
I'm
Joel
doing
ever
pretty
go
good.
home? Is he ever home?
No, man. No, Joel out there hustling, man. You out there hustling, right, Jay?
But it don't
Joel?
matter. We could be
See,
live
I work-
at 9 in the morning. We could be live at 12 in the afternoon. We could be live at 6 p.m. or
Man.
we could be live now. And Joel is driving a truck.
Man, that
All I
overtime
can
is
say,
real. That
all I
overtime
can say
real.
is I'm working while y'all sleep. So that's all I can say.
No, like I think Champlain was that you always working. You ain't
Yeah,
never
and you
sleeping.
working when we awake.
What's going on? What you got for us, though, brother?
But I do like the topic. But there was a correction that needed to be made. Sorry about this darn computer making all this damn noise. But he was talking about when he was talking about the mothers, Kevin, he was talking about toxic mothers. So it wasn't like he wasn't talking about all mothers. He was saying there were two specific types of toxic mothers.
Ah, got you.
So-
that makes
so
more
I just-
sense.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. He would like, so all the people in the chat talking about, he wasn't talking about all mothers. Let's just be real. But I found it interesting with the baby topic because I just actually did a video on it, and I already said that he was 100% at fault for it. But at the same time, I look at situations like that as opportunities. Opportunities because people show their true colors. Meaning, there are certain individuals that I know what you're really about. With opportunity, with situations like this, like for example, the guys that tried to shame him for what he did, even though I'm pretty sure a lot of the men on the panel can agree there was a strategic purpose as to what he did, why he did what he did. Recording the incident, even though it was IG Live. So the men that tried to shame him, talk about he was weak for calling the cops or whatever, it shows what type of men they are. And then also on the women's side, the women that tried to make it seem like he was just trying to do it to, I guess, shame her or whatever. And, that's not what I saw. I saw it. Yes, he had people, even though he had people there, because let's be real.
Let me just jump in for a second. You said
Yeah,
that this is, everything that happened was 100% his fault. Is that what
Yeah.
you just said? So it
Yep.
was 0% her fault.
No, it was his fault because he dealt with her.
No, I asked you, right. So he should have just never had her in her house at all.
He should have never dealt with her. He even if you go back, remember what he says in one of the videos. He takes responsibility by saying he done skidded in the wrong one, et cetera, et cetera. He claim, and I do say this. I'm glad he did take accountability for what he did. However, what I do say is, don't deal with women like that. Period.